Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Christian Gulay, and I am here to discuss the day 3 of the module Risk Management. The title of this module is the Sources of Risk, and the objective of this module is at the end of this module, you should be able to know the sources of risk that can generate threat of losses or obstacles. Well, there are 8 sources of risk, and these are: number 1, uncertainty in financial markets; number 2, threats from project failures; number 3, legal liabilities; number 4, credit risk; and number 5, accidents; number 6, natural causes or disasters; number 7, deliberate attacks from adversaries; and number 8, events of uncertain or unpredictable outcomes. I'm gonna discuss what is uncertainty in financial markets. Uncertainty in financial markets refers to the lack of predictability regarding future events that can impact prices and investments. It stems from various factors, including economic indicators, geopolitical events, and corporate performance, and changes in government policy. Well, here are some case aspects and examples. Type of uncertainty. Number 1, economic uncertainty. For example, a potential recession can lead to unpredictable consumer spending, impacting a company profits and stock prices. Number 2, political uncertainty. For example, elections or changes in government policies can create volatility. For instance, uncertainty around trade policies during an election that can affect markets. Number 3, market sentiments. And the example of this is the news events like sudden economic crisis or natural disaster. It can lead to panic or selling, buying, regardless of the actual economic fundamentals. Regulatory changes, and the example of this is the new regulation on industries such as technology or finance can lead to uncertainty about the future profits and investment strategies. Threats from project failures refers to the potential risk and negative impacts that arise when a project does not achieve its intended objectives, fails to deliver on time, exceeds its budget, or falls short in quality. This threat can affect various stakeholders, including the organization, employees, clients, and the broader community. And the example of threats are financial loss. For example, a software development project that exceeds its budget due to poor planning and resource allocation may lead to significant financial losses for a company, impacting overall profitability. Number 2, reputational damage. And the example of this is a failed product launch can damage brand reputation, resulting in decreased customer trust and loyalty. For instance, if a car manufacturer releases a faulty vehicle, it can lead to long-term brand damage. Number 3, resource wastage. For example, in a construction project, failure to meet timelines can lead to waste of materials and labor costs, resulting in inefficiencies and increased expenses. What is legal liabilities? Legal liability refers to the responsibilities and obligations that individuals or entities have under the law. When a person or organization fails to fulfill this obligation, they can be held legally accountable and may face penalty, damages, or other legal consequences. Well, for example, contractual liability. If a party fails to fulfill the terms of contract, they may be liable for damages to the other party. For instance, if a contractor does not complete a construction project on time, they may owe the client compensation for losses incurred. Number 2, tort liability. This involves civil wrongs that cause harm or loss to another person. For example, If someone is injured in a car accident caused by the driver's negligence, the driver may be held liable for the medical expenses of the other damages. Product liability. Manufacturers or sellers can be held liable if their products cause harm due to defects or insufficient warnings. For example, if a defective toy injures a child, the manufacturer may face lawsuits. Credit risk. Credit risk refers to the possibility that a borrower will fail to meet their obligation in accordance with agreed terms, leading to financial losses for lenders or investors. Well, it arises from the potential that a borrower may default on a loan or fail to pay back their securities. Now, the examples of credit risk. Personal loans. Personal loans is if an individual takes out a personal loan and later loses their job, they might struggle to make payments and this increases the risk of defaults. Number two, corporate bonds. A company issues a bonds to raise capital, and then if the company faces financial difficulties and cannot meet their interest payments, the investors face the risk of losing the investment. And number three, trade credit. A supplier extends the credit to a retailer, allowing them to pay later for goods, and if the retailer goes bankrupt, then the supplier's risk is not getting paid. And number four, the credit card. Issues face credit risk if cardholders do not pay off their balances and potentially leading to losses. Accident. An accident is an unexpected event that results in injury, damage, or harm. Accidents can occur in various contexts, such as at home, in a workplace, on the road, or during the recreational activities. For example, a common example of an accident is a car collision. If two vehicles collide at an intersection because one driver ran a red light, the event can lead to injuries and property damage and potential legal consequences for the responsible party. And in the worst case scenarios, it might lead to the death of someone. Natural causes are natural disasters. Natural causes refers to the events or phenomena that occur in nature and can lead to significant changes in our affecting the environment, often without human intervention. A natural disaster is severe extreme weather and climate events that result in significant damage, destruction, and loss of life. They often stem from natural causes. For example, a hurricane is a natural disaster that forms over warm ocean waters. When it makes landfall, it can cause flooding, strong winds, and destructions of infrastructure, leading to the injuries and fatalities. The underlying natural cause is the combination of warm ocean temperatures, atmospheric conditions, and moisture. Deliberate attacks from adversary. Deliberate attacks from adversaries can take a various form depending on the context, whether in cybersecurity, military engagements, or social conflicts. Here are some common types of deliberate attacks: cyber attacks, military attacks, disinformation campaigns, terrorism, and economic sabotage. Well, cyber attacks this can include phishing, ransomware, and denial of service attacks or data breaches aimed to disrupting operations or stealing sensitive information. Um, Military attacks. In a military context, deliberate attacks can refer to the strategic strikes against enemy forces to infrastructures, including airstrike, ground assaults, or naval operations. Events with uncertain or unpredictable outcomes. This can occur across various fields, and their complexity often makes them challenging to analyze and address. And here are few examples of the events with uncertain or unpredictable outcomes. Number 1. Natural disaster. Number 2. Pandemic. Number 3. Financial crisis. And 4. Technological failures, social unrest, environmental changes, and cyber incidents. Well, natural disasters involve it is events like earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods that can have unpredictable elements, while we can identify patterns and potential risks. The exact timing and intensity often uncertain. And pandemic, these outbreaks of infectious diseases such as COVID-19 that can arise from various unknown factors including the zoonotic transmissions, environmental conditions, and human behavior. Financial crisis. These economic downturns that can result from a mixed factors including market speculations, regulatory failures, and global interconnectedness, making it hard to pinpoint a single root cause. And technological failures, system outages or malfunctions, like software bugs or hardware failures, can stem from unforeseen interaction within the complex systems, often making root causes are difficult to identify. It's also unrest. Protests and riots can erupt from a combination of social, economic, and political factors, with underlying causes that may not be immediately apparent. Environmental changes. Shifts in climate patterns, biodiversity loss, or ecosystem changes can have multiple contributing factors, complicate, complicating the identification of specific root causes. And lastly, the cyber incidents. Security breaches or data leaks can arise from a variety of unpredictable factors, including human error, zero-day vulnerabilities, or even coordinated attacks.